something that's really been coming up for me, I don't know, for like the last 45 years, but really, really like this last, I would say like the last few months coming into this year, but really like the last 2 weeks has been super clear for me on where my energy is leaking. And, time, giving my time away, connecting and, collaborating with so many people and just like bleeding it out, right? And I know that you guys, and I don't want to assume that you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, but when I started vibrating on like a higher frequency, started speaking my truth, being more authentic, owning my shit, taking responsibility, there's an energy and a vibration that comes from that that's like it's attractive and it's magnetic. And Mike, Trev, I know that you guys coach as well, and it attracts a lot of people, and that's what's been happening, especially with women that want to like collaborate and connect and do things together. And I've been allowing myself to get outside of that and be out of integrity with my time and my energy. So that's something that I've really been working on setting boundaries with, and as well as knowing where I'm like, trusting, putting my trust into people that haven't shown me that I can trust them yet. And that's really been a big one. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. And I'm open to any reflections, questions, going deep, whatever.
Okay, cool. So in this conversation of frequency, one of the things that I would empower you to look at is your dialogue, actually, because when we're talking about frequency, we think, frequency energy, but really our dialogue and the way that we think and the way that we speak contributes a lot to our day-to-day life. One of the things I'd really empower you to look at is this idea that you're leaking your energy. While fundamentally, sure, you're leaking your energy, and in the spiritual community, there's a lot of focus on this concept of like, where's your leaks? Where are you giving your energy? Where's this? Just by you believing that you have a leak in energy, you're actually more susceptible to giving your energy. When you can change that around to being in a perspective of, I'm aware of certain frequencies that maybe impact me, but ultimately I'm the one that holds my frequency, you'll actually find less of a drain just by changing that simple dialogue. Does that resonate?
Absolutely. Yeah. The language, I've been learning that language is a huge piece of it, especially, with working with ourselves, right?
Totally. And allowing us, because the conversation of frequency is that when you are holding a belief or a thought or a perspective, you are in a match to that. So if you are believing a belief that you're leaking your energy, the universe has no choice but to match that. And so it actually has to bring you circumstances in which you'll leak your energy. Now, that doesn't mean don't do collaborations. It just means it will give you the reality that you're leaking your energy, that you're like tired, that you're depleted. You can have the exact same experience of collaboration, but not feel that way at all, just because of the way that you're viewing the situation. So that's one of the things I would immediately look at is like, are you really leaking your energy, or are you giving too much power to that? And that's why you feel like you're leaking your energy and why you're feeling like you're depleted. So that's just one thing I'd bring awareness to.
Appreciate that. And to me that almost, well, I mean, it literally goes right into the same thing and that's what it is, like giving my power away.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the other things you said too is boundary. Same thing. I got to have boundaries.
Mhm.
We don't really need to have boundaries. Again, that's something that as you awaken and you raise in consciousness, you recognize that you actually get to ascend your dialogue around and your perception around. That's a very 3D way of thinking. Like, I need to protect, I need a boundary. Like, and I always press into Trevor about this. I'm like, forget your boundaries, like he's like, hard boundary. I'm like, screw your hard boundary, because then you create that resistance back to you. It's more of a desire. I have a desire to surround myself with people that elevate me. I have a desire to be in collaborations with people that really have a higher frequency. I desire to be with people that I can trust. I desire to attract people that I can trust. Same kind of a thing. So just looking at that one simple word, again, creates a different frequency for your auric field, which naturally creates a different reality for you. So very subtle things, but completely change the way that you see and perceive life.
It's almost like what I learned with the law of attraction, and not using the don't, not, and no statements, right? That makes total sense. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. One of the last thing I'll say to you, Kevin, just because I kind of know your background a little bit, is watch how much you give your your human ego awareness to the things that are going on in the spiritual world. We spend a lot of our time doing the really powerful practices and stuff, which I know that you do, but spend just as much time reflecting on the dialogue that you're using and the words that you're speaking, because that's a practice in itself. And that will really support you, especially just the conversation that you presented. Like, really, like, what is the language that I'm using? And let me just reflect on what that is right now in this moment. That's the same practice as sitting down to meditate or something or journal.
It's a lot of sense. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, I think you'll enjoy this one as well. And while you're at it, please subscribe to our channel. We'd really appreciate it.